Rockstar Steve aka Void here. Welcome to another episode of RIFFSTARTER, where we help you to play your favorite riffs from day one by removing any of those annoying speed bumps. I can't even say the words, speed bumps and roadblocks that slow you down. All of the strategies and techniques can be found in my best-selling book, Practice Less, Play More, which you can grab at playsongsfaster.com. So, today's episode, we've got Back in Black. It's one of the most popular riffs that I've found. I've been coaching for over 20 years. I've been touring the world for about 15 years. And Back in Black is just one of those riffs that every guitar player wants to know or they've tried at some point. So, cool. And I see we've got James here. Welcome, buddy. Back in Black is... on the surface, it's a pretty simple riff, but there are a couple of sticking points, speed bumps that can really trip people up, and I wanted to cover those today. So let's jump right into it. And if you're watching live, then say hi inside the chat. I always love hearing from you. And if you're watching the replay, then also, send some love inside the comments. I love seeing those comments and chatting with you. So let's jump in. And let me actually share my screen here. First, I'm gonna get the right thing popped up here. Okay, so let's dive in. So typically what happens when someone is playing a song like Back in Black is they're looking at the tab as just like face value. Whatever you see, that's what you try, okay? And I've got a whole bunch of screens open over here. So let me close some things here. So basically, we see these X's over here, and it's like, okay, well, that's kind of interesting. And already, even before you start the song, you can get tripped up because it's like, okay, well, that's kind of weird. If you don't know what these are, these like muffling the strings, if you don't know what that is, then you kind of stop before you even start. But by the time we get over here, so we see, okay, so we've got a power chord, okay, then we've got this sort of like almost like D major chord almost, and then we've got this other one. Okay, so maybe you're familiar with those. That's cool. So maybe you're up to this point, and then you try this lick, and you're like, and just going through every single thing step by step by step by step. And as you've seen on the show, I've talked about this a bunch. I'm going to keep talking about this. Instead of trying to match your current skill level to the level of the record, what we want to do is we want to match the record to your current skill level. Okay, that's how you play from day one. Sorry, I just had some lunch, and I guess I'm still adjusting. Maybe I've got a little bit of haze on the brain. But we want to match the record to your current skill level. Okay, that's how you play from day one. You want to simplify what is on the tab and match that to your current skill level. For some people that's more advanced, maybe you don't have to simplify that much. For other people, you have to simplify everything. Either way, there's no right or wrong as far as like if you're advanced or if you're a novice. You just have to, if you want to play Back in Black, you have to change Back in Black to suit you, and that's how you start playing from day one. Because when you play from day one, what happens is you're playing music, you're focused on music, and you are you're acting like you're behaving like a guitar player. When you're focusing on getting every little tiny move on the tab, and then the song ends up being stop and go, that's not music. You're not acting like a guitar player. You're not behaving like a guitar player. When you are playing music, which has a steady pulse, that's how you behave like a guitar player. That's what your ear and your brain needs to be getting used to, so that you can, whether you're playing a simple shape or you're playing a complex shape, you have to play musical time. And that's really what we want to start as soon as possible. Okay? Cool, nice. We've got Dougie here. Welcome, buddy. All right. So let's get back to the tab. And what I would do is I would take a look at, okay, so the power chords here, those will probably be pretty straightforward. If anything, maybe you just play the open string and the second fret, maybe play the open string and the second fret. So like that would look like this. So maybe you just do, 2 note power chords. So you go like, and maybe you don't even do down, up, down, or any fancy strumming. Maybe you go down, 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 down. Okay, just simple chords. The real trick comes from like when you get that lick. Okay, let me get some distortion on here. Okay, that lick there, that could cause some issues where you could get stuck on that for days. Okay, and I don't want that to happen. So what I would do, let's look at the tab really quickly here. This says pick, 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 bend. So we have a full bend, and then bring that down, and then have a pull off. Okay, so just that lick on its own would sound like this. Okay, and some people could do that right away, some people can't. But whether you could do that, like if you could do that right away, then cool, you move on. But you should still understand how to simplify this if you need to, because there might be a song where you will need to simplify it because you can't play it, you get stuck. And we don't want that. We don't want you to get stuck. So instead of doing pick, and then do a bend, you want to look at what the sticking point is. Like, is the speed bump that you can't do the picking in time? Down, up. Is it that you can't do that? Or is it that you can't do the bend? Let's say the bend sounds like this. Maybe it's like, maybe you can't like get the bend up. Okay? And so that's really the sticking point there. Maybe you're going, or maybe you can do the bend. Maybe you can do the bend, but the picking slows everything down. You like, so you're playing like, and then you get here and you're like, already the band is already gone. Like the drummer, everybody's gone. Okay, Brian Johnson, everyone is already, the train has left the station. So you can't stop like that. You can't go, okay, now I just want to see this just 1 second here and just, that music doesn't work like that. You know, some event has to happen, and then you have, because like you got to get back to this chord. So the music's still happening, but at 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, da da da, 4, da da da. Like the music is still happening no matter what you do. Okay, and that's what you really have to understand here. That's why we simplify, is so that you can play music. You can play that steady pulse. Okay, does that make sense? Let me know in the chat if you're watching this, if that makes sense. So we have to simplify. And the way that I like to do that with this here, especially because there's a fretted note and then there's an open string, I like to do pull off. Okay, so there would be 3rd fret, pull off to the open string, and then 3rd fret on the 2nd string, pull off to the open string. Okay, so instead of this, you basically pull off. So like it would look like this. You go pick, pull off, pick, pull off. Doesn't have to be as exaggerated as that. But now we turned 4 picks, down, up, into 2 picks. Down, pull off, okay? So we get 2 for the price of 1. Now, if the bend is an issue, then don't do the bend at first. And you can do a pull off after that as well. Now you might say like, oh, but wait a second, that doesn't sound like Angus Young. Well, it's okay for now. Just let Angus do that part, and then you just do what you do, get used to the timing, and then you upgrade from there. Okay, that's what I mean by you got to match the record to your current skill level, and that's how you play from day one. From there, you just upgrade, and then you upgrade, and you upgrade, and upgrade. So, what it would sound like is this. Okay, doesn't sound bad at all. You put some distortion on that. So. Then, so you don't have a bend yet, you don't have that yet, but who cares? At first, you're playing everything pretty much like the record, but that one little detail, instead of it taking days out of your life, it's now going to be like, okay, cool, I'll just get whatever I can get right now, and then I'll upgrade later. Okay. And maybe you even bend downwards. Okay, you bend downwards, because going with gravity rather than against gravity, that might be easier for you. Okay, so that's another way that you can approach that. So that's the first part. Okay, with the bending, you could also so you could bend downwards, you bend upwards if you want to. You want to try that, and any bend is going to be okay, but as long as it's in time. Focus on the timing. Don't worry about necessarily getting the notes to be perfect, but the timing is really everything. If you can't do the bend, and you want to do something that represents that, you could do a slide. You can go like, you can slide to the 3rd fret or the 4th fret. But I would probably do the 3rd fret. Again, it doesn't sound exactly like the record, but it doesn't matter at first. Okay, it's kind of like it. Okay, so that's the first kind of reframe. We want to kind of give yourself some options to go with. And this is what one of the goals is of this show, is just filling up that toolbox with some stuff to try, because I don't know what's going to work for you. You only know what's going to work for you when you try it out. But it's this concept of simplifying and getting that muscle trained to simplify something so that you can play it musically, and then you can move on and you can upgrade later. Play now, polish later. Okay, now one other thing that I wanted to say is with this legato lick, like this, if we do a pull off, and whether we do a bend or not, what I want you to get used to is that we're just basically playing string 1, 2, 3 in a row. Like that. So just get used to climbing that ladder. 1, 2, 3, like that. Now this here, bum, bum, bum. That's what's happening there. Da 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 dum. Da 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 dum. Okay, that's what's happening with the pick. So I just wanted to show you that, just in case you didn't know that, because your focus is all over here, and this is just a really simple down, down, down. Okay, string 1, 2, 3, steady. Okay. Okay, now the next lick is this one here, which Angus plays 2 5 2 6 2 7 2 4 2 5 2 6 2 7. So it's kind of counting up 2 4 2 5 2 6 2 7. But that's a little bit strange. Like jumping like that, it's a little strange. Now Angus has smaller hands, so that's why he's jumping like that. But it's a little bit weird. I've always found that to be weird. So there's two things that I want to suggest there, if you find that part also to be weird. Is you can go make this like a finger exercise where you have 7. So you basically have the fingers on 4, 5, 6, and 7. You have one finger per fret, and you go. For some people, this is going to be easy and easier, and for some people, this is going to be actually way harder. But just try it out. See if it's easier. You're going to go 7, 4, 7, 5, 7, 6, 7, 7. And it's like a little bit of a finger exercise where you're going pinky, index, pinky, middle, pinky, ring, pinky, pinky. Okay, that's one way to do it. Another way to do it would be like this: 2, 4, 2, open, 2, 1, 2, 2. So it'd be, which gets you right back where you need to be for this E5, for that first chord when it comes back around. Okay, so I just wanted to give you some ideas there. Drop any questions that you might have about the riff, about any of the stuff that I talked about here, or if there's some question that you have, then I'll be happy to answer it inside the comments. But that's pretty much it. I mean, this riff, I think that you should check it out. You should try it. And what I wanted to do in this episode, was just remove some of those roadblocks, some of those speed bumps, by giving some alternatives. But really, above everything, just getting you used to simplifying and not taking something as face value just because the tab said so. Okay, just because Angus played it a certain way doesn't mean that you're going to play it that way. Okay, so I really, really want you to get used to that concept of, instead of trying to match your current skill level to the level of the record, match the level of the record to your current skill level. That's how you play from day one. All right, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Again, if you want to check out the strategies and the techniques, check out my book Practice Less, Play More at playsongfaster.com, and we'll see you in the next episode of RIFFSTARTER. Take care.